Okay, Shalom. First and foremost, I'm going to start by giving all praise, honor, and glory to YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Greatmillstone who rule well. And Shalom to the Hakim out there that's really teaching the word of Yahweh, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, in truth and in sincerity. All right. Yeah, in this lesson, I pretty much wanted to touch on what happened about last week, about that so-called, anomaly that happened in the sky, that so-called UFO that everybody pretty much here in Southern California seen, and even I believe it was said even as far as Arizona and Vegas was this thing seen in the sky, and but what I wanted to get into is the fact that these things that we're seeing in the skies, these miraculous sort of awing, things that happen in the heavens, are pretty much signs from the Heavenly Father and His Son about the prophecies that are said to happen, in the future. All right. The God of the Bible issues these certain signs out there so that His prophets and His elect can understand those signs and know that the time of YAHAWASHI, first and foremost, His return is nigh, and all the other prophecies, before that, World War III, economic collapse, martial law, famine, it's so we can know those things are about to take place on the planet Earth, to mainly here in America and the rest of the world as well. So pretty much wanted to get into Genesis, the first chapter, because like I said, the Most High created the certain lights in the skies and certain lights in the heavens to be for signs and certain instruments, that we can use, to pretty much tell time and tell what time it is. You know what I'm saying? So it's Genesis 1:14, and the Most High said, "Let there be lights in the firmament of the heaven to divide the day from the night." All right. The firmament of the heavens is talking about pretty much beyond the Earth's atmosphere into, outer space, It says, "Let there be lights in the firmament of the heaven to divide the day from the night, and let them be for signs. Let them be for signs, and for seasons, and for days and years." Okay, so you got the sun, you got the moon. The moon is used for so we'd know what month we're in, what week we're in, and what time of the month, in general, that we were in. Back in the ancient world, the sun is also used as a thing to know what time of the day it is, as well as the moon. That's how you know what time of the night it is, But there are other lights and things that go on in outer space that the Most High does, to also show signs, Let's look up the word signs. Let's look up the word signs. The word signs in the Hebrew is awath. Awath. Okay, it says a signal. All right, let's go down. It says a sign, a signal, a banner, remembrance, miraculous sign, omen, warning. A token. It's an omen or a warning. Look at that. So, pretty much the things that we're seeing out here in the skies are a warning. They're an omen. They're signs and tokens of the Heavenly Father. All right. You'll have certain things like, Halley's Comet. Okay, that was said to only come around a certain amount of years. All right, it was very rare to see it, but ultimately, Halley's Comet and all that is a sign or a token of the time that, that we were living in. And also you had great things that happened recently, like the eclipse okay? And the blood moons, but all these things are significant, you know. They're significant, and they point to something prophetic, you know, and it's usually meaning, you know, we're close to death and destruction on the planet Earth. All right, death and destruction of the heathen, the 2/3. All right, the destruction totally of America and the so-called white man's kingdom, man. Okay, so yeah, man, and like I said, even YAHAWASHI mentioned to his disciples, right, as to what, you know, as to what the signs would be, you know, pointing to his return. But I wanted to first focus on the point about them being for signs, you know. This is Luke 21:7. And Lord willing, I'm going to have, you know, the video playing in the background so brothers, or, you know, or people can actually see, you know. Because it was definitely something I had never seen in person before in my life, you know. And it was definitely not something that could be imitated. It wasn't something that could be manufactured or put together by man. You know, it was definitely a heavenly sight and very divine, you know, what we saw. You know, it could have been a chariot, it could have been, you know, or just some type of thing that the Most High sanctioned an angel to do, to, you know, to as just as a sign, you know. Luke 21:7. And they asked him, saying, Master, but when shall these things be? And what sign will there be when these things shall come to pass? So the disciples were asking YAHAWASHI, like, what's going to take place on the planet Earth in the future, you know, from their time, and what are going to be the signs that you're going to show us from heaven or on the earth to point to those things coming to pass, you know. And I'm going to jump to verse 11. One of the things that the Lord mentioned was, he said, and great earthquakes shall be in diverse places, and famines and pestilences, right? And fearful sights and great signs shall there be from heaven. Okay? And that's pretty much what we saw. We saw a great sign, you know, and to people who don't understand what that was, you know, it was a fearful sight, you know. There was a lot of people who were saying it might have been a missile, or it was this, it was that. You know, a lot of times what people don't understand, they get they're fearful of it too, you know. But at the end of the day, they don't even know that, you know, in their ignorance, that pretty much foretells future destruction set to happen to them. You know, but it says, and fearful sights and great signs shall there be from heaven. So what we saw was nothing more than a sign, man. A sign from YAHAWASHI, you know. And it's no coincidence that, you know, you have certain prophecies coming to pass here on earth, like the whole Donald Trump and the UN thing, you know. Donald Trump pretty much making a declaration to have Jerusalem, or make it a thing to have Jerusalem as the capital of Israel. You know, it's basically what that's doing is just stirring up the spirits over there, man. And there's certain people that agree with it, many people that, or one, well, really not many that agree with it. And then you have one who did, which is pretty much America, man. So these nations know that, you know, America is taking the world down the wrong path, you know. But that's prophecy, though. It's prophecy, you know, written in the book of Revelation, man, about how the beast was going to hate the whore, you know, the beast being NATO and the EU, which the whore being America, you know. But yeah, anyway, man, it's just, you know, that's just, you know, there's no such thing as coincidences, you know. Things happen because Yahweh Shem Yahushai wanted them to happen, man. You know, and if you're a prophet, if you have the faith of YAHAWASHI, you're gonna see these things, man, because the Lord is gonna open your eyes and open your ears to these certain things that are happening, you know. And they're gonna start showing more and more. They're gonna start showing more and more, you know. But hey, for those that's in the know, those of us that's in the know, you know, we we don't get really tripped up, you know. To these people out here, it was a fearful sight, but we don't really get tripped up too much in it, you know, because we know that ultimately it's just a sign from YAHAWASHI. I'll grab this last one. This will be Jeremiah. Jeremiah 10:2. It's a lot here, bros. I'm a little under the weather. But this is Jeremiah 10:2. Thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them. You know, yeah, be not dismayed at the signs of heaven. I want to look up the word dismayed real quick. The Hebrew word is ATHAH, and the word means pretty much to fear, to be afraid, to be scared, to terrify, etc. To be afraid. So we're not supposed to be afraid or act like we don't have a clue as to what those things that's going on in the night in the skies out there, man. You know, to these people out here, like things like that, and the UFO sites, which are the chariots of heaven, right, which the angels ride around in. To these people, man, they fear it, man, because they don't understand it. But to us who understand it, we don't fear it, man. We know that it's a great sign from YAHAWASHI, man, that he's about to destroy this kingdom. And we about to get up out of here, man, and set up a righteous kingdom on the planet, man, on the planet Earth. So-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, the Israelites are going to rule, all right, starting with the elect, with YAHAWASHI in the kingdom of heaven, man, when America's destroyed, man, all right, and the so-called white man's taken down. Right. But yeah, man, Lord willing, this was edifying, you know, and like I said, there would be many more signs in heaven, man. All right, so let's continue to look for them. Shalom.